Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley. Wow. We got such a fantastic show coming your way today. And this guest that we have on, I tell you, she is doing so many wonderful things. And, been through a few things. But you know what? Came out of it, still marching, still strong, still doing things, still changing life. She's an impactor. And I tell you what, I want everybody to tune in and listen to this young lady chat, tell her story, and you see why I believe that you're going to believe just like I am. She's an impactor. But before we even get started, before I even introduce her, I got to always bring my executive producer and co-host on, Dr. Michelle Denise Cooley. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Yeah, this guest today, just reading, just looking at her website, just chatting with her briefly. She's definitely an impactor. And, this hour show is not even going to do her justice because she's got going on.
About 50 hours.
I know, that was like really big story. I mean, she wears many hats. And she does many things, but the most important thing is she always has her head up high and she's always thinking positive. So we're really excited about this guest today.
She's a motivator, a dedicator, a creator. So I tell you what, wherever you're watching this at, whether it's E360 TV, LinkedIn, YouTube, over 25 live other live streaming network, if you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do is go to the comments. Ask this great guest any questions that you may, and I promise you, we'll get you an answer. Michelle, I can't take it no more. Why don't you introduce the title of the show, the purpose of the show, and let's bring this great guest on the show.
Well, yeah. So the title of the show is the first Global Next Impactor, and the purpose is getting to know producer, television host, 3-time best-selling author, keynote speaker, president, co-founder of the nonprofit organization CB4L.org, and so many more. MC, interviewer, Tamara L. Hunter. We're going to talk about what is the first Global Next Impactor and why she joined the race against time, understanding also all roads lead back to her cause and why. And what is next and any future plans and upcoming projects she may have going. So let's talk a little bit about her. Tamara L. Hunter is a cancer survivor on a mission to change the world. The president and co-founder of nonprofit cancer support community CB4L.org, the first Global Next Impactor, CEO of Impactor Press, and creator of My Big Dream Life workbook and journal series. Producer and host of multiple TV shows airing on the E360 TV network, including her newest, Let's Talk Fabulous with Tamara. 3-time best-selling author, keynote speaker, MC, and red carpet interviewer. Find out more about Tamara at her various websites, tamara360.com or tamaralhunter.com, and the nonprofit www.cb4l.org. But you know what? Like I said, our show is not going to be enough time to really talk to her, but she's going to give us everything she's got. Welcome to the show, Tamara L. Hunter.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to be a part of this, and after listening to that, I'm very humbled. Also, thank you for such an introduction.
Wow, it's Michelle and I did our homework. You are fantastic. I just want to let you know that right now. All the great things that you're doing and overcoming cancer and now making impacts to others. So Tamara, before we get started, I want to play a short video, okay? And then we're going to go off into this. So I tell you, let's do it. Here we go.
My name is Tamara Hunter, and I am your host. This is the show that shares the inspiring stories of those that are inspiring others. Today, we have an exciting show.
what an impactful video, So first of all, Tamara, thank you for taking time to come on the James Cooley Show, and I am ready to just
Let's
get
do
off into
this.
this.
I'm ready too.
Okay, so first of all, can you tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit about you, where you grew up, and just you got the floor for about 2 minutes.
Well, I grew up in Southern California, sunny Southern California, and born and raised there, which I always kind of joke that, higher power or whatever your belief system has a sense of humor, because I was born with a few issues, one of which I'm allergic to the sun. So get a load of that one. I couldn't spend time outdoors, so lived in Southern California and heard a lot about how fun it is out there. Yet found ways to overcome it. I love going to the beach at night, and you find ways to enjoy. And the stars in Southern California, beautiful. I also was raised in kind of a situation where you can't shut me up now, because way back in the day when I was born with deformities, problems with my mouth, and I couldn't speak right, and people couldn't understand me. So it took years and years for me to be able to. And once I did, yes, now I'm out there speaking all the time, making a difference, letting people know. But what it did, as a child, I was really lucky to have some amazing mentorship. My mom, my grandparents, they taught me that there's more than one way to communicate, that we can communicate. You'll see me probably use my hands a lot. I hold a pencil a lot of the time to kind of remind myself to not do it. But, there's ways of being able to communicate with others, with our mind, with our hands, with, our intellect, our vibration, all of those things. And I learned that at a very young age. And in doing so, with some of the other things that were compacted together, I learned that you can overcome anything. That was the message. No matter what life throws at you, you can find a way through it, and you can make it yours, whatever it may be. So that's exactly what I have done every single turn. And I think we're going to be talking about it. I learned that all in my youth. And so Southern California has a huge part. We were talking about this, JC, a big part in my heart, my soul. I no longer live there. I'm in the Ozarks now, in the middle part of the United States. However, growing up, you can say that I had an amazing childhood, because I learned that I could overcome anything that life decided to throw at me and make it so much better for not only myself, but others too. So thank you for this opportunity.
Wow. So you kind of grew up in a bubble because of some of the issues that were there. Did that allow you to just observe others and different other type of communications? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Yes, it did. Growing up when I did, because I'm a child of, growing up in child of the 60s and 70s, we didn't have some of the things that we have now back then. So I literally did. I mean, when I was a kid, I was locked out of the school room, but I wasn't allowed onto the playground. And we oversaw, it was interesting. I loved this now, looking back. It was such a great lesson. I was up on on a little hill, because the playground was down below. I would sit up underneath the shade, and I'd literally watch all the children playing. And you know what? I didn't feel anything except for joy for them. I got to see them playing. I kind of lived through them vicariously. And then I had an opportunity for my principal. I think my mom probably had something to do with it, but my principal started calling me an ambassador for the school, for others that had special needs. And I was able to help them through their special needs also. And it was like we had a little club.
Wow, that's interesting. So you mentioned about your mom and grandmother and others. Are there any other role models that made an impact on you? And that's when you kind of gave you focus on being the person that you are today?
Yes. Truthfully, family was extremely inspiring to me because, um, again, being kind of held back from being able to go out as much as others do. My impact, or the people that were inspiring me, were those people, in many of them in my family. And I didn't have to go further than that because my grandfather was my hero. Absolutely my hero. Just stalwart. His story in itself could be a major novel. His life, what he had to share in regards to having integrity and making some life choices that literally were crossroads. And this was the easier route, but this was the integrity route, and taking that integrity route and what that really means. And we all come through to those crossroads. And every single time I've ever gone, any time in my life, I always think, what would my grandfather have done? Always.
Wow. You know what? We're going to take a station break, but I can't wait to get back. Yeah, so we can pick it up and just learn some more about this absolutely wonderful guest of mine. So if you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do is go to the comments, whichever platform you're watching on, and just ask her any question. Remember, it's your life. We'll be back shortly after the break.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, or hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? In everything that you do.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and we got our absolutely fantastic guest here, Tamara Hunter, and it's just exciting. You can feel the energy when she telling her stories, and when she gets excited. I mean, that's what it's all about: is maintaining excitement, staying up, keeping your head up high, and also loving and caring for others. So this young lady is all of that and then some. So why don't you join and be part of the conversation? Any platform, just go to the comments and ask any question you like. Hey, Tam, so you growing up, I mean, how old were you when you found out that you had cancer? And
I actually was a few days older than growing up. I actually was 54 years old, and this is an important piece of my message, and I want people to listen to this. And that is, I was 54 years old, and I found it during my first mammogram. And I come from a family that has had generational cancer. I should have known better. I had not had my first mammogram until I was 54 4 years old. Now, some would say, even in the medical field, that you should have your first one at 40 if you had a family like mine. I did not have my first one until I was 54. Mine, real bad. However, what that has done is turned it into a mission to say, if you out there have not had your testing of any type, and you know you should, this is my call to action to you right now. Do it. Get on your phone, text yourself a message, do whatever you need to do that, right? Get your pen, get your paper, call and make that appointment, please. I saved my life by going and having the test and then working up on it and jumping on it right away. However, it was iffy there for a little while because we weren't sure if it had spread or not. I was lucky. I responded to treatment really well. I had amazing doctors. So thank you for letting me get on my soapbox on this, because it is an awareness situation and we need to be aware of it every single month, not just the month of October. And for every single disease or any kind of medical issue out there, get your testing done.
Wow, I totally agree with that. I mean, I always make it a point of getting my mammogram done every year. And, even if I mean, you're right, if there's a family history of it, but also, we all know our bodies, but sometimes, we don't see, we don't feel different. But, people can say, a health issue, a health scare, a person can react different ways to it. So I see that you created a nonprofit organization called Chemo Buddies for Life. So can you tell us a little bit about that, and how soon did you create that? I guess when your diagnosis occurred?
Yes, thank you for asking. It's a story that I've told many, many times because it's very important too. And that is that buddies, we call ourselves buddies. And I met my first buddy on my very first day of treatment. And yes, I did have traditional treatment for my cancer, and then went on to adjunctive therapies. And I had an allergic reaction. Go figure, a bubble kid, a lot of allergy issues. And they had given me an extra dose of Benadryl, and I had to sleep during it because it knocked me out, literally. And when I'm hearing someone say, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I'm waking up to that fog, and I realized that my throat was closing up, my face was on fire, and I couldn't open up my eyes. And the person that asked if I was okay that day changed my life for the good, literally for the good. It gave me my mission. I always knew I had one. It finally showed up in that moment because it was the daughter of who ended up becoming my original buddy. And our doctors and our nurses kind of set us up because we ended up becoming known as Double Trouble. Here they come, Double Trouble. And party bus. And they always said that we raised the frequency once our rubber, the tires of the car hit the pavement at the center. They knew we were there. And so we went through a year and a half together. And during that time, it was our doctors and our nurses that convinced us we needed to take this to the world because they couldn't. There's HIPAA laws. There's all sorts of laws involved. And it took a year and a half for us to get through our initial surgeries and, chemo, radiation. She had it and all of it. We finally had our party and we had a luau. Of course, a luau. We didn't even go. We had a luau. We had Beach Boys playing and people came all day long because we were slow trip people. They came in Hawaiian gear and shirts and such for the chemotherapy room. And they told us, our nurses told us half a year after that, when are you going to finally do something? When are you going to do something? I'm like, do what? And like, do something. Because the only time we didn't know, a lot of people, they stacked the room. we didn't know everybody in there, but they had said that one of the people that was there, the only time they ever saw her smile was that day at the luau. And half a year later, she had just passed. And the thing about it, and I'll never forget this, is that she was not the sickest one in the room. She was the saddest one in the room. And that right there was the emphasis. And one other thing was what drew me to the idea of, okay, I'm ready. I always knew I was supposed to do something big in my life. I guess this is it. And so what we go after for the nonprofit is we don't compete with a lot of the others that are, if you will, in our lane. We're all about humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love. It's been proven that if you are in community, that you're going to do much better in whatever in life. However, in cancer, it's been proven, it is in medical journals, that if you are alone and going through your journey, your odds of making it 5 years or longer are going to be diminished. And that is without pharmaceuticals. That's without having to make a choice, adjunctive, traditional, whatever treatment you choose. It doesn't matter. What that particular journal is saying is, don't face it alone. And we could say, have a buddy, be a part of the buddies community. And so that's what we have. I had a wonderful brick and mortar nonprofit that was in my area. They did not have what I needed. I couldn't go to them because I was a bubble person experiencing chemotherapy and cancer. So guess what? I was put in pre-COVID. I was put in isolation at my house. I was ready when COVID came because, hey, I'd already been through that drill. And so they didn't have any online support. They didn't have anything like what we have ended up creating. And so when COVID hit, we were ready. We had people going live 3 times a day because some of our stage 4s came to me and said, I guess I'm gone. I guess this is it. And I'm like, nope, not on my watch. This is not happening. We brought people from all over the world into our chats, what we call them. We educated up to the minute. And I'm going live, others are going live, and we're keeping our people active. And you know what? They couldn't go get treatment because remember, they closed down everything. That was okay. They had what they needed at the time. And that was support. And some because we had tests that people could go back and look at. And it's amazing when they weren't able to go for any kind of treatment, it allowed for us to see the reality of it. And that was that because of good behavior, if you will, learning some of the things like Reiki and all of the things that people came in and did with us, that we had some of our stage 4s that showed up with no evidence of cancer or diminished in percentages, or they were restaged if they weren't stage 4. They were restaged, whatever it may be. But we had so many that came out of it so much, even if you will, better. We didn't lose one. And that right there shows the power of what it is that we can do as a human family. That's the beauty of it. When that commercial you showed, JC, about love, there you go. Boom, mic drop. It is about the frequency of love. It heals. And we are evidence of that. And that's what the whole message is that.
Wow. So I like the portion where you said excitement, and this the young lady that you said was kind of isolated. And that's sometimes, if I believe that when we are told or come across an issue like cancer, sometimes we don't know how to react, and we go in the corner. And if we stay in that corner too long, I believe that can cause us to deteriorate even faster, or whatever that is. But the buddy plan, like you're saying, that's absolutely fantastic. So you're on a mission to change the world,
Yeah.
And actually you're doing it.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that you want to, or you vision and doing to help you out with that change?
Well, they're huge. Anybody that knows me knows that I don't do anything small. However, it's not all about me. And that's what is the most important thing to understand here. I have an amazing team of people from all over the world that are all volunteers. Our nonprofit doesn't have one paid person. Not one person. We are all volunteers. And that's a big part of why we're so passionate about what we're doing. And it is a team effort. And what I see happening, I see this so clearly. And this is where we need all of you out there to see it too, because there is healing through connections. It is absolutely paramount for us to understand that we need to believe it to our toes. And I absolutely do. And I am willing and so there for anybody to use my energy until they find out for themselves, because you have to go through those baby steps to find it for yourself. Yeah, we have so many that do. And truthfully, so many that come to volunteer end up saying, wow, I had no idea I needed this so much. I needed to heal from this or that or whatever it is. I needed to overcome whatever it was that they were showing up to serve others. And that's when you know that healing through connection circle, the never-ending circle, infinite, let's go infinite, that we everywhere in the world can get to that. And my vision is this, that we will have a day, and E360 is a big part of this, we will have a day where anywhere in the world, anywhere where they can touch a screen of some type, that they can have the connection with others, and that they can then know that they're not alone. And the thing about it is, it's the best of all the worlds, because if they want to feel isolated, they don't have to be seen on screen. They don't have to be seen. However, they can be a part of something. And our brains know, I'm sure you know this, and you've probably had many that have shared, that our brains don't necessarily remember. Like, my brain will not necessarily say, okay, yeah, we were on a screen together. We were on, we were looking at each other through cameras. No, my brain is going to say at some point, were we in the same room, JC, or were we on a show together? Because I remember talking with you, and our brains don't say, oh, filter through, oh, no, that was a camera. You weren't in the same room. No, they remember that connection. And that connection can then help to raise the frequency, and vibrational frequency, literally, science is proving it can heal. So that is I see it, I know it will happen. It's a matter of everyone coming together and just, showing up. Show up as you are. And the beauty of it, you can show up in your jammies if you want. There's no cost of entrance. It's all about showing up, caring, sharing the vibe, and raising the frequency of the world through love.
Wow. And that's what it's all about. Showing up, loving, just like I said, sharing the frequency through love. Well, we're going to take a station break, but we're going to come back, and we're going to have a whole lot more time. So if you want to be part of the conversation, just go to whatever you're watching it on, put your platform, and reach out and ask a question. It's your life. I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and we'll be back shortly after.
I never wanna leave. Yeah, I'm right where I wanna be. We got something you and me, and I can't get rid of this feeling. Just like a magnet, we're just like a magnet. The things we have can be taken for granted. Now I know that it has always been you. I can't help it, I'm so drawn to you.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life, and I tell you, I'm just sitting back here, just having such a wonderful time chatting with this young lady, and just like I said, it's just the inspiration of that you can just tell, you can just feel it, and she brings all of that, and I know you all are feeling it as well, So if you want to be part of, talk to us. Yeah, go to the comments. Hey Tamara, so. Taking on and repurposing a lot of things in the world, because you're doing a lot of things. Have there been any challenges, major challenges along the way?
Oh yeah, that would be a whole nother show. A few of them. They say if anything worth doing is worth doing well, and that's the way I was raised. And what I had to overcome was a little of that even in the beginning too, because it's like, okay, I had to learn that showing up was doing well in the very beginning, because starting with a cause that is to be global and is truly a download. It's a mission. It's a calling, and then told go do it. And then I had been underground for a number of years as I was raising my kids because of some security issues, and I didn't have social media. For the longest time I didn't even have a computer. Twitter was a bird. Facebook. I had no clue. And when this started, the download was, this is to be an internet thing, going through social media and everything is like learn. Well, thank goodness I was a recruiter long ago, and for my professional career, and a second generation at that. And so I knew, okay, this is the way it's supposed to be. Go find others that know what you need to know. And in the beginning, that's exactly what I started to do. And it's like, how do you do this? And so I went the old-fashioned way, where I drove everywhere. That anybody that would let me, I used to joke, I'll scrub a toilet to go on stage. Anybody that would let me just go up there and share the message. And I started meeting like-minded people, and they started showing up. And then the show the little commercial for the Service Hero Show, that actually was the first brand of anything that I started working on that became something, and people recognized and started getting a following. And it was through that because all roads that I work on lead back to my mission of healing through connections. However, someone said in the very beginning, I wasn't getting it in the very beginning. It's kind of comical. But I mean, everything from wearing the wrong things on stage, I would wear black, and people are like, you're talking about cancer. Don't do that. And I'm like, oh, that's right. It's like, okay, and so it was a matter of realizing that if it could go wrong, it was going to go wrong, and just laugh about it, roll with it, and find your way over it, through it, under it, boom, because nothing worth doing when it is a calling is going to be easy, and I'm a believer, and you read about stories in the good book. And I mean, you had asked role models. Another one that I didn't bring up is Job. And his story inspires me every single day, and it's like, okay, he didn't lose his faith. He was tested in every which way, and he didn't give up. He didn't give up. He was in the ditch, boils all over him, and, forsaking friends, and on and on and on. And he didn't give up. He didn't lose his faith. And then the test was over. And that's what I've seen through this whole evolution, is that there is going to be, in fact, I know, just like, okay, we're starting something new, look for it. And it's not like I'm asking for it, but I just am aware of the fact that anything worth doing is worth showing up. And then having the attitude and knowing the why behind the why, because I absolutely know mine. I absolutely know mine. I was lucky enough to have a buddy. However, when my mother went through her cancer journey, because I'm one of 5 people, 4 generations, all through one line, that have had those 3 words said to them, 2 of which gained their wings. And when my mother had to go through her journey, she lived in my home, but she was contagious and I was going through mine, and I could not be there for her. I could not be there for my own mother. She was alone going through some of her journey because of some of the things that she ended up with super bugs. And so she was literally in isolation. And I couldn't do some of the things I wanted to do for her. However, that whole pay it forward is that, okay, my why behind the why is that I remember every single day that she was alone and afraid, and her story was incredible. And I know that there are others, so many more out there, and that every single day, the longer I wait, the longer that it is until there's someone there for them. And so that's what drives me every single day, every single night. I think about those people that are alone and afraid, and nights are sometimes the hardest. And it's like, okay, they need to know they're not alone. They need to know they can get through this and not to give up, because when they give up, it can be game over. The do-over factor is a little harder when you're going through something like cancer or something that big, and you give up for a little bit. There may not be the option to say, okay, I'm ready now. No, we need to just be there for them. And so I just laugh, like, okay, bring it on, whatever it is, we're going to get through it. And thank goodness, I want to shout out to all of our volunteers and everybody in our organization, because whenever I call upon anybody that with something big, because something's happened, they show up like, what do you need? Let's do this. And that is when you know that you're not in it alone, to create an environment for others to not be alone. And that's the domino effect. So that's how you get through it.
A lot of laughter, a lot of love. Hey, I want to show this a quick video, and we'll talk about it after.
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been shown that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
Share this with your friends and family and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a Chemo buddy for life.
We are a buddies network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are Chemo buddies for life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.
I love that video. It's so impactful, and you're right. Chemo buddy for life. No one wants to go through any journey like that by themselves, and they don't have to. So what we have to get the word out a little bit more, so people, other folks will know about that nonprofit organization. So But that is so powerful. You are so powerful yourself, and always got a smile on your face. And you saying that's the, I guess, like the secret sauce, to a lot of things. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, I can. And that is because, anybody that has been through, and you can relate to this, I'm sure. I know you can. Anybody that's been through anything big in their life, any kind of trauma, any kind of disease, any kind of anything that has tested you to the core. I mean, my doctor, that's my doctor in that clip, the one that spoke. That's my doctor. Those were my nurses, the one that gave me the hug. That chair in the background was the chair I was in that I was having the allergic reaction in. And, and so, when you look at that, I am happy to wake up every day. I'm happy to be alive. And is my life perfect? No, no one's is. But you know what? I am loving the journey of it. And it's a matter of, people talk about it, and I'm so happy that so many do. They talk about mindset, or, having your intention, your mantra, whatever it is that you need to do. I do it with sticky notes sometimes. It's like, okay, I need to write a note to myself. I'll put it on my mirror. I'll write something on my hand. If I have a frown that needs turned upside down, and I then will smile my frown away, I'm going to talk to myself about it. I may even sing my song. I might even, every day also, I write down 5 things at least that I'm grateful for. Gratitude. Plus, it's said that you make your bed change the world. I believe that full-heartedly. In fact, I went out on a huge campaign during COVID that, okay, guys, we're making our bed, even if you're going to get right back in it. It's the action. It's that action step of it that actually changes the day. And so, it's a matter of perspective. And again, it goes back to my childhood. Guys, nothing is ever easy in this world. We were never guaranteed it was going to be. In fact, I always think, wow, that was easy. Kind of like, okay, is there a shoe that's going to fall somewhere? It's not that I expect it, free from that. However, I understand NLP and all that kind of neat stuff. However, with that said, life is life, and it can happen. It's a matter of how we show up to it. And I can promise you this, no matter what it is, no matter how dark it is, no matter how much pain you're in, no matter what, you think it can't get worse, and maybe it ends up getting worse, it's still a lot better with a smile. I promise you, and a few giggles and a little laughter. And I laugh at myself about everything. I mean, it's like everything. It's like, okay, yeah, Tam, all right.
You're absolutely right. When you smile, you get, even though you're going through tough times, if you can, it's all about the attitude.
Yeah.
It's all about just staying positive. We're going to take another station break. We're going to come back and we're going to talk some more. So I tell you what, it's your life. We'll be back shortly after the break.
Life is a series of circles and cycles, phrases and stages. These experiences teach you the lessons of life. You can either ignore them or embrace them. Welcome to It's Your Life with James Cooley. James is a motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation. James is here to equip you to strive for greatness and overcome adversity. It's time to get you equipped today for the challenges of tomorrow. Now, here's the host of It's Your Life, James Cooley.
Hello, welcome back to It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and we got, and as you guys will see, we got this absolutely wonderful guest. That's I can't say any other words because it's just motivation, dedication, creation. I mean, she just full of motivation. I'm motivated. I know you're motivated because we all have things that happen to us in life. What doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. It all depends on how you react to it.
Yeah.
Whether you just want to go back or sit in the corner, or go over there and lay down. But if you stand up and confront it head on with a smile and maintain your head up high, you can get through anything. You can get through anything. With that being said, Chemo, I want to talk about race against time. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. Lauren Michael Harris, he was referred to me to be a service hero for the work he was doing on his bathroom moments. And I had him on my show. And afterwards, he's like, what do you do? In his Lauren way of talking. And besides, of course, being show host. And I told him about the nonprofit. He's like, oh, you should do the Race Against Time. You should do the Next Impactor, which has now been rebranded as Global Next Impactor. And the idea was that people from all over the world could race against time. The reason they say that is that we didn't race against each other. And it's really evident in the fact that, okay, so I joined a little late, like really late. So it had already been going on for a while. I ended up winning. In fact, there's the Impactor trophy right there. And it was really a race against time because many of the ones that raced with me then came and are now volunteers or on my board or one way or another involved with the movement of Healing Through Connections and taking it out there to make an impact. I mean, can you be more excited about a program because so many came and then many stayed? And my whole game was this too. And I will say that when I was running for it, I invited all of those running to come on to Service Heroes show to honor them for what it is that they were in the Race Against Time for, because everybody came with a cause, a purpose, a mission, a business. And I wanted to share their story. So we're running against each other and they're coming on my show and I'm honoring them. And I got to know them really well. And that was the bottom line in all of this, is that when good people have it in their heart to serve others, one way or another, for-profit, nonprofit, it doesn't matter. It is the service piece of it, that energy, that was what we all had in common. And then we are all still connected. And I became the first one to win. And we are all connected still. There is a bond between us all. And, I want to thank the founders of it, because when it just is evident that everything we're talking about right now, it's your life. It's your life to serve. We all have a service hero inside. We all have the ability to do something as simple as open a door for someone, give them a smile, ask how you can help. And that's what it's all about. So that's the Race Against Time. And it literally, it was an evolution. It was one of the domino pieces that helped it propelled us, this message, onto a global stage. And that is one of the things I am forever grateful for.
Congratulations on that. I will also want to talk about this tour of love. I want to show a quick clip.
Coming this spring, by popular demand, the second season show on the Tour of Love.
The E360 TV platform is saying we want the Tour of Love.
With winner of the first Global Impactor Award, Tamara Hunter, along with Emmy-winning co-host Skip Thomas.
We are going on tour, on the road. It's time. Love unites, and there is healing through connections. This is a worldwide movement, the Tour of Love.
Wow. I love it.
I know.
You know we got to do it.
The vibe, and everybody loves it. Shout out to Brooke Curran, one of the impactors. She gifted us the graphics because this spawned out of the nonprofit. It's bigger than the nonprofit. This is to raise the vibration through love. And we're going into second season. Right now it's slated for spring. And so be watching for more. And it's all about, the 60s and the 70s, the groove, the raise the vibration, and then also to help to teach things. And it's like a variety show. We did 36 hours of the Tour of Love on E360 TV during Giving Tuesday for a profit, the nonprofit, to raise funds and awareness. And it was so popular. We had Melissa Manchester on. We had the fastest woman talker, Fran Capo. We had all sorts of people that, Emmy Award winning, Grammy Award winning, top of the charts people, comedy skits. And then we had, think of it, Jerry Lewis Telethon comes to streaming media live on E360 TV. That was Tour of Love. And so we're so excited. So be watching. Tour of Love is coming back.
Yeah, we're going to have to get some more information on that. Also, I know we're down to the last 3 minutes of the show, but tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit about your show so that they can tune into that one as well.
I have one right now that's on Sundays at noon Pacific, 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Eastern. And it's a limited series panel show. And it's all about let's talk real, and then let's find something fabulous in it. And so we've been I put together the panels. I know a lot of people. And so I usually try to have people that I know that are going to bounce off of each other well and possibly don't know each other. And so there's a benefit in multiple different ways. Introduce people that that are good, that should know each other. And it's being really well received. So it's on the E360 TV platform on the Fresh Takes channel. So you can go watch replay right now on demand. And then this Sunday's show is going to be a special Valentine love and music, raise the vibration. And we've got some singer-songwriters coming on. We've got some music producers, and we have a specialist that works in relationship building. And so we're going to be bringing it all together, sharing these amazing songs from these singer-songwriters that you guys are going to, some of them are pretty new releases. It's going to be fun. A fun show.
Wow. Can you tell our listeners, because after about a minute, how they can get in touch with you, and how we didn't talk about your books? How can they get your books?
Everything, you can find everything. It's real easy. Write my name, Tamara, with 3 A's, and then 360.com. And that's like a business card. And then you can go to my website. It has the world. You could go there and it shows about the books. These are actually workbooks. They're a work of love. It's just to help you. People ask how I get so much done. I time block, and I'm pretty disciplined, and I use these. And so finally I just produced them so others could too. They're basically at cost on Amazon for the world to help. Let's do more together, guys. And that's why I created them. mybigdreamlife.com and so you can find that there. And then you can find the nonprofit on Tamara360.com.
Wow, this has been such a wonderful show. Just like Michelle had mentioned earlier, we needed about 3-4 hours. But, if you have time, I would love to have you back on again.
I would love it. You are just, and you're going to come on to my show. We're going to do that last Sunday in March, guys. Last Sunday in March. Put it on your calendar now. It's going to be fun. fun. Yeah, absolutely. Love to come back. Thank you.
And looking forward to it. And I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to come on the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I'd like to thank my great executive producer and co-host, Michelle Cooley. Most important, I'd like to thank our viewers for taking the time to tune in to the James Cooley Show every day. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Remember, it's your life, and dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. See you.